He thought counseling could save them. It was a last-ditch effort, a desperate grasp at the fraying threads of their 12-year marriage. She agreed, but her agreement felt hollow, a reluctant nod rather than an enthusiastic partnership. We went into that first session with a sliver of hope. I sat on the plush couch, his hands clasped nervously, ready to be vulnerable, to lay all his fears and frustrations on the table. He talked about feeling neglected, about missing the connection they once shared. But when it was her turn to speak, the room grew colder. Words were clipped, detached. She spoke in generalities, blaming stress and the passage of time. There was no emotion, no fire, no fight. It was like listening to a stranger read a report. He left that session feeling more alone than ever. The therapist gently pushed her, asking about her emotional needs, about what she wanted from the marriage.
It's too late, she said, her voice barely a whisper. I'm sorry, but I've moved on. The words hung in the air, heavy and suffocating. Moved on. What did that mean?
His mind raced, piecing together the clues he had subconsciously been collecting for months. He wasn't sure he wanted to know the answer, but he had to. The silence that followed was his answer. She didn't have to say a word. She hadn't just moved on emotionally. She had been living a double life. The other man wasn't new. It had been going on for nearly a year. While he was at home trying to figure out how to make his wife happy, she was building a new life with someone else. The counseling wasn't a genuine attempt to fix their marriage. It was a performance, a way for her to ease her conscience before delivering the final blow. The betrayal was a physical pain, a constant ache in his chest that made it hard to breathe. Every memory of their life together felt tainted, like watching a movie where he was the only one who didn't know the ending. The happy anniversaries, the inside jokes, the promises of forever, were they all lies? He replayed conversations in his head, searching for the moment it all went wrong, the point where she started drifting away. He'd been so focused on providing for their family, on building a secure future, that he missed the signs. Why drag him through the charade of counseling? He was angry at the other man for his part in destroying their family. But most of all, he was angry at himself. Angry for being so blind, so naive. How could he have loved someone so deeply and not known them at all? The person he thought he had married, the woman he had built a life with, simply didn't exist anymore. In her place was a stranger. Navigating the aftermath was like walking through a minefield. Telling the kids was the hardest thing he'd ever had to do. Seeing the confusion and hurt in their eyes broke him in a way the infidelity itself hadn't. Their home, once a sanctuary of love and laughter, became a tense, silent battleground. Every interaction was strained, a painful reminder of what they had lost. He found solace in unexpected places. In late-night talks with his brother, who reminded him that this wasn't his fault. In the simple act of cooking a meal for his kids, creating a small pocket of normalcy amidst the chaos. He started going to the gym, not to get a revenge body, but to channel his anger and frustration into something productive. Each rep, each drop of sweat was a small victory against the despair that threatened to consume him. He also started seeing a therapist on his own. Unlike the disastrous couples counseling, these sessions were a lifeline. He began to accept that he couldn't change what she did, but he could control how he responded. He focused on being the best father he could be, on creating a stable and loving environment for his children. One day, months later, he was packing up some of her things when he found an old photo album. It was from their honeymoon. They were so young, so full of hope and love. For a moment, a wave of sadness washed over him. But then, something shifted. He didn't feel the sharp sting of betrayal anymore. Instead, he felt a distant, bittersweet nostalgia for the man he used to be and the love he thought he had. He closed the album and put it in the box. That chapter was over. He was no longer the man who thought counseling could fix them. He was a man who had been broken and was slowly, painstakingly, putting himself back together, stronger and wiser than before. The journey from heartbreak to healing is a long and difficult one, and it's a path you should never have to walk alone. If you're struggling with the pain of a broken relationship or any mental health challenge, please reach out. Talking to a professional, a friend, or a family member can make all the difference.
I care.